What I do. Today I want to talk about why you should not scroll mindlessly. So we're going to talk about the effects of scrolling first, right? So whenever you scroll, right, you got like an attention span. So whenever you scroll, your attention span is very short because you're scrolling. So each time you scroll, you get a new input because it's a new video, right? So it's loads of new information coming into your brain. And if you do that repeatedly, you're training your brain like, okay, we don't focus on things a lot. We just let a bunch of information come in and we don't do a lot of it, right? That's just kind of wasting a lot of information, which causes brain fatigue, right? Scrolling actually causes brain fatigue, even though you're not doing that much. Just because there is so much load of information, this is your brain and you're just basically stamping information on boom, 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 new information, new information, new information. And that's already just the brain effect, right? And just by doing that, right, you fall victim to your animalistic nature. Your animalistic nature is the part of you that doesn't think that well. The animalistic nature of you is that chooses to just binge eat, even though you know it's not good, but it's just the animal in you, right? If you don't control it, your animal part, right, will take control of you, because that's something that we forget, right? We evolved from all these animals, but the only part of us that makes us different and which makes us like conscious beings is the front part of our brain, right? We do logical reasoning with it. But under certain circumstances, you cannot reason logical, right? You cannot reason in a logic way. So if you put all that input in your brain, right, with a low attention span, you're not processing that information properly. You're not doing anything with it. You're using your animalistic nature. So that's what goes on in your brain, right? So you kind of weaken your brain frequency. You weaken your ability to be human. And what I mean with be human is being you, right? Because like I said, we got a human part of our brain, right? Our prefrontal cortex, and we got the rest. I'm not that good with the things, but it's not important, right? Whatever is named, how the parts of the brain are named and things like that. That's not that important. So the rest of your brain, right, we're just gonna call it for now the animalistic part of your brain. So if you're not using this, you're using your animalistic part of your brain, and that part of you just wants to do whatever it is. All animal is concerned with is to survive and reproduce. We survive through eating, right? Consumption, drinking, eating, and we survive also through reproducing. So what we will do, now we're living in a society that survival is basically already laid out for you. So your need for reproduction is already laid out for you and manipulated in a way that, okay, you want to reproduce, bro, we got Pornhub for you. If you want to reproduce, right, have the sense of that you're reproducing, you're not doing it, right? And we also got a lot of food for you. So if you want to eat, right, we just gonna manipulate that for you, and so that you can use that, right? You can eat, and that's what your animalistic nature will do if you scroll. And it's not all just about scrolling, but this video is about scrolling, right? But scrolling is a behavior, like it creates so much other behaviors, right? I got sometimes that I'm like, I'm on my journey for weeks, and the moment it goes left, it all starts 9 out of 10 times. It starts with scrolling. You scroll and you forget like that you got a purpose in this life. You start scrolling, scrolling. You see too much. Scrolling creates already bad thoughts, right? So now you see something from now you see something from 3 years ago, some negative post that causes negative thinking. Now you might be thinking about your ex from like 5 years ago or something, or somebody who you had an argument with 2 years ago. Now you're thinking about that, ruminating about that. You fall deeper into your animalistic nature, and you don't even want to make good choice anymore because it no longer feels good. Because if your brain is on a certain frequency, you cannot go above that. So let's say your brain is at a frequency of like 300 hertz, right? Just all an example, right? But it kind of works like that. So let's say your brain is on a frequency of like 300 hertz, and let's say good and positive actions start from like 600 hertz or something. Like I've said, this is just an example. If your brain is on a frequency of 300 hertz, you cannot even, the good and positive actions are not even an option to you, because you don't have the frequency, you don't have the brain power for it to think about that. And that's something that I want to say, like, being healthy and living healthy is something, it takes brain power, bro. You cannot just eat candy and drink cola and expect that your brain will work optimal, bro. If you might be in a conversation with people, you will notice you will have probably some more negative thoughts. You might be thinking about things, like I've said, from things like 5 years ago, negative things. You delay your goals and things like that, right? So that's the thing with scrolling, right? You fall victim to your animalistic nature. You're no longer in your human part. You're no longer here, logical reasoning, doing the hard things that actually create mastery, right? Such as sports, learning digital skills, or whatever skills. You know what makes you better, right? You forget those things, and that's why scrolling, especially nowadays, right, it's so important to be a human that can actually go in depth. Not a lot of people, especially not people from our age, right? I'm 21. It's not a lot of people that read books from our age, or not a lot of people that are writing and just thinking about, okay, what is going up down here, right? Everybody is just in their animalistic nature, and you cannot blame them, because information nowadays, it comes so fast, bro. Like I've said, if you want to scroll the whole day, you can scroll the whole day. And I'm not gonna lie, scrolling sometimes it's kind of like fun, right? You see these memes and vines and whatever, funny videos, but there's something also about like funny content, right? Funny content is also, because the most things that people, if we scroll, we want to see funny content, right? Things that make us laugh and want to make us feel good, like make us feel comfortable. But the thing is with those things is like, yes, they make you laugh, but at the end of the day, you can laugh for 24 hours. You still won't have a productive day, even though you got your laugh off. It's not like you had a productive day, right? And that's the thing with scrolling. It manipulates your feelings in a way that, oh, you're laughing, you're having a fun time. And while you're scrolling, you're eating a bunch of candy. Like, yeah, scrolling, yeah. Candy, you know. And I can tell those things because I've done those things. And, you know, so I can say those things out of own experience, right? So that's how it goes. And everything just comes too fast. You're just doing things that a chimpanzee or whatever animal can also do, right? You're eating and processing things at a very low frequency, which is not optimal for humans, right? If a human couldn't think like, okay, how are we gonna make a light bulb? It wouldn't be a human. Then it would just be a person that's just walking around and just simply experiencing and not creating. And scrolling just puts you really in that situation. It puts you really in that part of your brain where you cannot leverage this front part, the part where you truly reside, the part where your goals are, the part of you that knows, okay, mastery is the end goal, things like that, right? So yeah, important, right? That's what I wanna say for this video. You really need to think about your day, your schedule, and be aware of like how many hours do you scroll, and reduce that. You know, like, we want our days to have intentions. Each time you hit the bed, it should be like, okay, I might not be a millionaire yet, but I'm at least a step closer to whatever I want to be, or wherever I want to end up. You know, so yeah, that's this video about, man. Scrolling activates your animalistic nature, and it puts you in that state where you're not able to make good decisions. You're no longer able to think about your goals and the things that you need to do, because the information is just coming so fast and fast and fast that the human part of you fatigues. So it just needs to work with the animalistic part. So yeah, with this video I'm gonna end this, or with that info I'm gonna end this video. This is, you already know what you need to do. I don't have to lay out steps, right? It's just, I want you to be aware of what scrolling is doing with your brain, right? It has a huge effect. There's even scientific studies that like too much screen time and phone time can actually shrink your brain, and I won't be surprised, right? But that's something, I'm not gonna say too much things without doing clear info about it, but yeah, I won't be surprised, right? So yeah, that's really this video for today, and I thank you for watching. I'm out.